Your podcast should be bringing you pre-sold clients every single week. If it's not, it's like owning a Ferrari but leaving it parked in the garage. You've got the power, you just need to know how to use it. And here's the good news. You don't need thousands of listeners, fancy tech, or top 1% rankings in order to make it happen. Today, I'm going to show you how to turn your podcast into a client-getting machine that works seamlessly no matter your audience size. Now, listen, most people are using their podcast the wrong way. They think that success is about climbing to the top 1% or racking up thousands of downloads. But that's like trying to fill a bucket full of holes. It doesn't matter how much traffic you get if it's not converting into clients. And here's the truth. Your success isn't about how many people listen. It's about who listens and what happens next. Because podcasts are one of the most powerful tools for client acquisition because they're personal, they're bingeable, and they build trust faster than almost any other form of content. To the tune of 62% of podcast listeners saying that they trust the host more after just a few episodes. Now, when trust meets the right system, that's when conversions happen. But here's the problem. Most people create podcasts with zero strategy. They're either recording random episodes that don't connect to their client acquisition process, or they use their podcast at the wrong stage of their funnel, hoping it will magically attract leads. That's why today I'm breaking down a simple framework to transform your podcast into the centerpiece of your client acquisition strategy. Here's what we'll cover. Number one, I'll share how to rethink your podcast as a relationship accelerator. Number two, I'll share how to structure your episodes to attract high intent clients. And number three, how to turn binge listeners into buyers. So let's get into it. Now, the reality is most people treat their podcast more like a billboard designed to grab attention and get discovered. But again, that's like trying to light up an entire stadium with just a flashlight. It's not the right tool for the job. This mindset leads to strategies like spending hours tweaking SEO and optimizing keywords, or chasing trendy topics or highly produced content and relying on guest appearances, hoping that their audience will boost your traffic. But here's the truth. You're a business owner, not an influencer, and you're not here to entertain people or put on a horse and pony show just to increase your downloads. Unless your goal is to become a podcast influencer competing with the likes of Joe Rogan or the Call Her Daddy show, this approach isn't going to generate revenue for your business. Instead of chasing attention, focus on conversions. The goal is to use your podcast to help leads binge their way through the trust process, deepen their understanding of your methodology, and accelerate their decision to work with you. Each episode should act as a micro conversion, moving your listener one step closer to saying yes. Here's how to start shifting your mindset. Ask yourself two questions for every episode. Number one, what action do I want my listeners to take after hearing this? Number two, how does this episode align with their journey towards becoming a client? When you start thinking of your podcast as a tool to nurture and convert rather than just a way to get discovered, everything changes. Now, let's clarify exactly where your podcast fits into your client acquisition strategy. Now, most people are seeing their podcast as a top of funnel tool designed to attract attention and generate new leads. But here's the thing, your podcast isn't built to bring in cold traffic. It's built to nurture and convert warm leads who are already in your world. Think of your podcast as a middle of funnel tool. At this stage, your audience already knows about you. They've seen your social media, a blog, your bingeable decision system, or heard about you through word of mouth. Your podcast is now the bridge that helps deepen that trust, understand your approach, and feel confident taking that next step. When you shift around this strategy to see your podcast as part of the middle of funnel, it changes everything. You're no longer chasing downloads or creating random content. Instead, your podcast becomes a targeted tool to address those unspoken objections, highlight your unique methodology, and create micro conversions that bring your audience closer to saying yes. This focus transforms your podcast from just another content channel into a powerful nurture system. So now that you understand your podcast's role inside of the funnel, let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture, your client acquisition ecosystem. See, at its core, your ecosystem is about doing one thing: accelerating decisions. And the key to accelerating decisions is to mirror how your audience naturally moves through the buying process. Here's how the 3 stages of your ecosystem work together. The top of your funnel is about attracting attention and setting the foundation for trust. At this stage, your goal is to show your audience the big picture. What is your methodology and why does it work? What transformation can they expect if they work with you? And how does your approach address their most pressing problems? For example, we teach our clients our bingeable decision system, and in my case, the Netflix Effect mini-series, so that I can introduce high-intent clients to my framework and gives them a clear understanding of what I do while eliminating the guesswork and positions me as the expert they need. Think of this as the movie trailer that hooks your audience and leaves them eager for more, which leads us to the middle of funnel. This is where your podcast comes in. At this stage, your audience already sees the big picture, but they need help addressing specific concerns or desires before making that decision. This is where your episodes are now used to tackle specific buying triggers. Think of these as the different reasons people buy, whether it's because they're looking for the fastest results or they're looking for a method that's actually going to support them long term. Your podcast becomes the tool to be able to tackle these individualized buying triggers and create a deeper understanding of how your process can actually support their specific needs. And I use the example all the time, but everyone buys for different reasons. So I often share how important these buying triggers or demand angles are. Think of it this way. If you go buy Nike shoes, you might be buying them because you believe they make you run faster. But your daughter may be buying them because she believes it's a status symbol. And your son might be buying them because he believes they're durable. Those are all individualized reasons why people buy. The more we understand these and address them within our actual podcast episodes, the easier it becomes to reduce churn in your market, but also create a highly individualized buying system that addresses their needs and ensures them that you're the right solution. Now, each of your episodes is designed to provide clarity and go deeper on these specific demand angles while also building belief in your method and addressing objections or doubts. Think of your podcast as the final mile in a marathon, helping your audience cross the finish line with confidence. When you align these stages, indoctrination at the top and nurturing in the middle, you create a seamless decision-friendly journey. This approach isn't just about overwhelming your audience with random content or hoping they connect the dots themselves. Instead, it's about guiding them intentionally, step by step, towards a confident yes. This brings us to the final piece, our one-touch content system. The old idea of needing 8 to 20 touch points to convert a client is outdated because bingeable content has replaced that model. Instead, with our one-touch content system, each week you release an episode that addresses a specific buying trigger. Now, this episode becomes the centerpiece of your weekly marketing strategy, driving traffic and nurturing leads. By the time your listener finishes binging, they've already made a decision. Think of it like dominoes. Each episode builds on the last, creating momentum that naturally leads to a conversion. In my business, this system allows me to consistently acquire clients every single week without chasing trends or creating endless content. And the best part, it's designed to work for you and you're not constantly needing to sell. This is the power behind the Easy Yes method and why we've created a proven system that allows you to get your leads to sell themselves. And it starts by learning how to win the market. Because the reality is, when you're working with sophisticated clients, they need to see you as the only and undeniable solution. This is why we work together with our clients to develop their innovative gap methodology. This methodology is your answer to creating your own blue ocean. It allows us to tap into the market gaps and identify the opportunities for you to create a solution that has otherwise been left untapped, creating an innovative way to solve an existing problem. This is how you become a market of one and how you're able to charge 5 to 10 times more for the work that you're doing and have clients who line up to work with you. The second step is having a bingeable decision system. It's no secret that people love to buy, but they don't like going through sales processes that only leave them more confused or spending too much of their precious time. This is why the bingeable decision system focuses on optimizing your approach to meet your high intent clients where they're at, creating a bingeable decision process that allows them to binge their way to an easy yes by getting them to sell themselves. This approach takes our mirror decision-making process so that we can address only the right information at the right time to help people make a decision right now, allowing you to get your leads to sell themselves. And the third and final piece of the puzzle is actually having a system that delivers results to your clients, because building a business isn't just about acquiring clients, it's about retaining them. So we've created the happy client machine that allows you to ensure that you're delivering world-class results for your clients at scale without consistently being dependent upon you. This is where legacies are built and how you build a business that can succeed without you always being on. This is the power behind the EZS method and why we are so passionate about helping experts just like you be able to create a system that gets leads to sell themselves. So if you're ready to learn how we can help you use the Netflix effect to build your own system that gets leads to sell themselves, I want to invite you to book a growth optimization call with me. On this call, you and I will sit down, we'll discuss what your current strategy looks like and where your biggest optimization points are so that you can attract high intent clients and convert them by getting leads to sell themselves. And if it makes sense, I will share with you exactly how the EZS method can be applied within your business to help you do the same. This call is an opportunity for us to decide whether or not we believe we can get you results and to show you exactly how this would look within your business. So if you're ready to book your call, head on over to ezsleads.com/call. If you're new around here and want to learn a little bit more about how the EZS method works to get your leads to sell themselves, head on over to thenetflixeffect.com to check out our free bingeable mini series that outlines exactly how we use the Netflix effect to get those leads to sell themselves. And make sure you hit that subscribe button so you get our weekly dose of real talk on how to grow a successful business that's sustainable. But until next time, here's to keeping it real.